What up, this is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Peacock's new documentary series, Joe Montana. Cool Under Pressure. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. And if you'd like to help support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. That's patreon.com/ramascreen. Let's rock this. First up, I would like to say thank you to Peacock streaming service for granting me the screeners to the first 3 episodes of this new docu. Okay, confession time. I did not grow up a fan of American football. I grew up in Asia, man, so naturally, just like the rest of the world, I was always more of a fan of the actual football, aka soccer. Whereas American football is something that I had to learn about once I came to the United States 2 decades ago as a high schooler. So you'll have to forgive me if I don't put Joe Montana on a pedestal like most Americans do, but I totally understand the admiration. Joe was one of the best at what he did, so that is something we have to respect, regardless if we like the sport or not. This, by the way, is the quintessential documentary about Joe Montana. The man, the myth, the legend. From his upbringing all the way to his uphill battle in trying to prove himself worthy of being a starting player, this docu goes in depth and thorough. It leaves no stone unturned. It's captivating and triumphant. Produced by NFL Films, Joe Montana, Cool Under Pressure is a 6-part sports documentary series featuring stories that most people don't know. The doubt from his coaches, the controversies with teammates, and the insecurities from within that drove one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play that sport. Featuring exclusive footage as well as interviews of many NFL personalities, including Tom Brady, Jerry Rice, Steve Young, George Seifert, Ed DeBartolo, Peyton Manning, Magic Johnson, and Ken Griffey Jr. FYI, the first 2 episodes of Joe Montana Cool Under Pressure will premiere exclusively on Peacock on January 6th, with new episodes premiering weekly. Even though Peacock only granted me the first 3 episodes, they're actually more than I need, really. It's more than enough for me, an outsider whose knowledge of American football is very limited. These 3 episodes are beefy and substantive, and each runs about an hour long, and every segment delves into pivotal moments in Joe's life and career. Not all of the talking head interview footage are new. The docu also included interview footage from a couple of decades ago, featuring prominent people who are no longer with us now. I actually appreciate that inclusion because it's one thing to hear it from the narrator, and it's a completely surreal thing to hear it from the late coach Billy Walsh's mouth. Him explaining his working relationship with Joe Montana gives this docu more weight and credibility. So the first episode is about Joe's childhood all the way to his Notre Dame championship. This episode is fascinating because half the time Joe could not make up his mind on which sport he wanted to fully immerse himself into. I mean, the 80s would have looked differently had Joe Montana been an NBA star instead of NFL. But he was talented enough to go for either. The obstacle he seemed to always face was convincing the coaches, not just at Notre Dame, but also Bill Walsh at the 49ers. So that's the main highlight of episode 2, which chronicles Joe's difficult way to the mountaintop of his first Super Bowl win. Episode 3 gives us a glimpse of Joe's romance with Jennifer, in addition to the challenges of trying to win his second Super Bowl. So there you go, that's pretty much what those 3 episodes entail. So having seen this docu, what's my overall impression of Joe Montana? He strikes me as a genuine athlete and a very flawed human being, which is okay because we all are. But what floors me the most about Joe is his perseverance. I mean, I don't know if I'm patient enough to go through what he did with these coaches. After 2 years of being bench or playing second fiddle to another quarterback, I'd probably pack up and leave, but not Joe Montana. Joe stuck it out, and he was not always a consistent quarterback either, but when he was in the zone, there's no stopping him. A visionary on the field through and through. And so, whether or not you're a fan of American football, Joe Montana Cool Under Pressure may well just be one of the most inspiring sports documentaries you need right now.